Alright, so this video is going to be just a little bit different. Today I want to talk about how conservatives are the ones that perpetuate a narrative of cancel culture and literally try to cancel people that, say things that they don't like or they disagree with or some might think are controversial. So the first person that I'm going to talk about today is Hassan. Hassan Piker, HasanAbi. He is probably the most popular political commentator in the content creation space. He's huge, and back in 2019 in August, Hassan was doing a stream where he was talking about a lot of different things. This was a 6 or 7 hour stream, and I could not actually find any re-uploads of the entire stream itself. I was only able to find some clips, not clips of every single thing that he said, but we have a clip here, and we're just gonna watch the clip.
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it, I'm saying it.
We're there to partner with them. We're not there doing our own thing. We're there partnering and training
In a video
and
game.
equipping and enhancing their capabilities.
So that comment landed Hassan in some very hot water, but that was not the only thing he said. There is a lot of stuff preceding that clip that, again, I could not find the entire clip. This was all I was able to find of that. But he was talking about how United States foreign policy led and allowed something like 9/11, an event as devastating and as deadly as 9/11, to happen. And his comments were, again, part of a larger conversation he was having about that. And I couldn't find the entire clip, and I can't show that because I legitimately could not find it. I tried to look for it, and the fallout from these comments, and this is still when Hassan was part of the Young Turks, because as many of you know, he used to be a part of the Young Turks. The fallout from what he said was insane. He also made some comments about veteran Dan Crenshaw and his eye. He made a joke about Dan Crenshaw's eye that probably wasn't the best joke. He made a joke about like his eye getting like fucked when he was at war and shit. And it really was not a great joke, but it was a joke. Clearly, it was satire. Like, that's also something that I could not find. I do have the quote, and I guess I could read it. He said, "What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and literally lose his eye because some Mujahideen, I hope I pronounced that right, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick?" That's the quote. Clearly it was satire. Again, probably not the best thing, but Fox News picked this up. There was a bunch of outrage. The Young Turks came under all of this fire, and Hassan actually went on the Young Turks to address these comments, and he kind of defended what he said, but I want to show you guys, what Hassan was talking about, because I couldn't find the clip, but I want to show you guys what he was trying to say with that comment. Or let him explain it himself.
Yeah, certainly. Well, first of all, I said America, not Americans, and I still stand, I don't believe that any civilian deserves to die. Obviously, I'm anti-war. That was precisely what we were talking about on my Twitch stream at the time. It was a 6-hour broadcast, and
again, if you follow Hassan, if you know where he stands politically, he is, again, 100% anti-war. It doesn't matter, you pull up a clip, pull it out of context. It doesn't matter what you say about him. This is something, if you know about him, this is just that's fact.
that was a 10-second clip, and unfortunately, if they had shown the preceding 10 seconds right after that, the context would be rather clear. It was that I was criticizing American foreign policy and the kind of jingoistic attitude that Dan Crenshaw was repeating that justifies endless war, that has led to nearly 7,000 brave young men and women to be sent overseas and only return in caskets.
And again, the comments he made about Dan Crenshaw, I can't speak into the actual joke he made. Again, I think it was satire, but he was also criticizing Dan Crenshaw specifically because of Dan Crenshaw's stance on, the United States militarization in countries overseas. I would argue that a lot of people take issue with that. Hassan certainly takes issue with that, as do I. That was something that he was criticizing Dan Crenshaw for because, again, Dan Crenshaw has routinely defended, American imperialism, militarization in other nations, and that's just, that is what it is.
I think that's abhorrent. I think that's disgusting. I don't think that I mean, my style is not very civil. I think civility is unimportant, and I think doing what's morally right is what's important, and speaking truth to power is what's important.
So truth to power.
So, and this is a debate he did on The Issue Is with Alex Michelson on Fox's LA channel, and this guy sits there and argues with him about it, gets all pissy, and it's actually pretty funny. But we're not gonna watch the rest of that. But the fallout again was huge. Shank again, he had Hasan on and pretty much forced him to apologize, and Hasan didn't really want to apologize. It's honestly kind of funny, and I think Shank was kind of scared that maybe like the Young Turks might get hit with a lawsuit or something like that, and it was just ridiculous, I think, on Shank's part, honestly, in my opinion. But Hasan has stood by his comments, and Hasan, it didn't really have, he got banned on Twitch for it, but it didn't have that much of an effect on his career. But again, the fallout from those comments, at least in the recent days that he said it, was insane. Again, Fox News was not the only people that wrote articles on this. This was everywhere. He received a ton of backlash to the Young Turks. It was, again, the fallout was incredibly harsh. And that brings me to the next person that I'm going to talk about, which is David Pakman. Now, I made a video yesterday talking about David Pakman and the tweet that he made. Here is the tweet once again for those of you that may have forgot. He deleted this tweet, and in this tweet, he says, "Very surprising that there would be a mass shooting at a Christian school, given that lack of prayer is often blamed for these horrible events. Is it possible they weren't praying enough or correctly despite being a Christian school?" Now, I made a video defending David because I don't think, I personally, I would not word a tweet like this, but I don't think there's anything wrong with this tweet, and what he meant with this tweet was the rhetoric from conservatives, Republican politicians, people on the right in general, of thoughts and prayers after a mass shooting. That shit doesn't work. It has never fucking worked. We have a mass shooting crisis that America has been suffering through since 1999, and the conservative answer is always the same: thoughts and prayers, instead of passing gun legislation that would, again, regulate the gun industry and allow people that should not be obtaining firearms, makes it harder for them to be able to obtain a firearm. David is really frustrated when people say thoughts and prayers. I get that frustration. I feel that same frustration so much, just like David. And he tweeted this. He removed the tweet, and I said this in my video, there was a very, 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 and it's still happening now, a very concerted effort by conservatives, and this is a tweet here that I'm trying to pull up from Candace Owens. The tweet from Candace Owens reads, "To any of your advertisers who may be following this is not a contrived mob or anti-Semitism. This is you dealing with the consequences of sending the most horrifically bigoted tweet directed at dead Christian children who, according to you, should have prayed harder." And again, the conservatives are the one who always say cancel culture is a bad thing, cancel culture is wrong. And she has been one of the main people heading up this, again, very, very, very David Pakman is calling it a hate mob, because that's largely in part what it is, against David Pakman for what he said. And Donald Trump Jr. even tweeted about David Pakman's tweet and said, "I can't believe people are putting their company, their name and advertising with David Pakman," and he has lost advertisers. Okay, he has made videos about this where he talks about very, very terrible message he's received. He's been saying that conservatives are sending people that he runs ads for on his channel messages and saying, "Don't advertise with David anymore." And he says that there are advertisers that have completely pulled out from his show. And again, he deleted the tweet because he also said that he was receiving death threats. Him and his family were receiving death threats for that tweet, which is, again, just incredibly insane to no degree. But I wanted to make a video just outlining how these two people, didn't really say anything that's really wrong, and they just created this huge shitstorm. And again, the conservatives created this shitstorm, and that's what they do all of the time. They are the ones who create this controversy. They perpetuate the narrative of cancel culture, and then they're the ones who say, well, they don't like it, it's bad, but it's only bad when it happens to them. It's only bad when it's someone on the right, a conservative, a Republican politician, someone who's a Republican grifter is getting canceled. That's the only time when it's bad. When it's someone on the left like David Pakman or Hassan Piker or anybody that's not a conservative Republican, even when they didn't do anything wrong, it's totally justified, it's totally okay. And that's the point I wanted to make with this video. And if you guys like the video, please hit the like button. It helps me out so much. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on all notifications so you guys don't ever miss an upload.